one. We're going to start with Joel Embiid's. Is it
LCL.
What does LCL stand for?
You
can't look it up. You can't tell me you're in the lab all day studying his
something
knee
collateral ligament. Something collateral ligament, I believe.
Yeah.
Lateral collateral ligament. It inhibits
inhibits
their ability to move laterally or left to right, is what I've learned.
Well, he doesn't really slide his feet on D, so that means he should be okay. So it's Sunday night when we're recording this. This will go live on Monday morning, the game or the day of game 1. You are in what stage of grief right now?
Okay, that's how you want to spin that too. You're being really
no.
today.
I'm asking you because yesterday you were in full blown denial. It was honestly insane. Like they were tweeting, they were literally saying he's not going to play, and you're like, he's playing.
Doubtful
to
play.
Okay,
so hear me out.
Today they said he's doubtful to play.
They said he was doubtful to play yesterday.
He ain't playing. So tell me why. Yeah.
Sure. So the injury happened supposedly, I want to say last Thursday was game 3, maybe 10 days off or something, maybe Friday. No, it was Thursday. He didn't play game 4 on Sunday. And on Sunday last week, it was reported by Woj that it was the injury was labeled as not serious and that he has a chance to play in game 1. And then Ramona Shelburne, as of Tuesday, I believe, who I've always said Ramona is one of the most plugged in people in the media, said that the swelling had subsided and he was able to move around a little bit more than he was. And he was starting to feel a little bit better. So then yesterday comes, and you don't really hear anything from, let's call it Tuesday to Saturday. Sixers have practice yesterday. Doc goes up to the podium. Let me, before I tell you what Doc said, Jack, let me just ask you a question. If Doc Rivers came to you, you had no idea, like, whatever. He came to you and said, Jack, I have this pick for us tonight. This betting pick. Right off the bat, you think you'd be a little skeptical to take Doc Rivers' betting picks? I would be, personally. So Doc Rivers said, if I was a betting man, I would say he's doubtful. Didn't really practice all this stuff. Whatever. I'm not one to look at Doc's win-loss. I'm not one to look at Doc's win-loss record, units up, units down. All I'm saying is that
it's not James Franklin numbers, right?
Right, exactly. All I'm saying with that is if Doc Rivers gave me a betting pick, I wouldn't be the most confident in that betting pick.
But he did hit that.
He didn't hit yet.
I mean, he said if I were betting,
he'll hit if he doesn't play. Yeah.
No, but
if he doesn't
said
play.
Joel would be doubtful, and he is listed doubtful. So he did kind of hit that.
Well, no, you have to hit it if he doesn't play.
Got it.
I still think there is and you can call it delusion, you can call it a stage of grief. I still firmly in my heart of hearts believe that Joel has a chance to play tomorrow. The reason I think that is because historically, he's been doubtful several times, as you can imagine, prior to a playoff game. He's also played in almost all of those games, including Game 3 of Miami last year when we were already down 2-0, came back and we won that game. And I know people are saying, like, even if Joel were to play, right, he's not 100%. It's better than nothing. Joel Embiid's presence on that basketball court is enough to make an impact in the game in the Sixers' favor, whether or not he is 100% the MVP Joel Embiid that we've seen. And then you see clips come out. If what?
If it's a pain management, if it's a no risk of re-injury, right? That's where things change. And I'm not the doctor here, but I would imagine a ligament injury in the knee for a 7'1", 280-pound man probably isn't just a pain tolerance thing. But I actually don't.
But that's the thing, Jack. I totally agree with you, right? If it was a pain tolerance, simply pain tolerance, I think we're both in agreement Joel would be out there, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I get lost in all these reportings, is because it was reported that all the swelling and everything had gone down. He was starting to feel a lot better. And then it seemed like in the last 48 hours is when things got dark and the quotes started coming out. Everyone's kind of saying something without saying something. And it's just
it could have re-swelled. And also, like, you watched Julius Randle at pregame today and it was like, oh, he's going to play. He looks perfectly fine. There's just a different level that you need to be at in the playoffs. So
let's say
I think
he's gonna
betting
play.
Man. Do you want to? But you wouldn't bet.
Well, I know you're hot right now, so I don't want your betting picks in regards to this situation. I've seen the slips and they're fluorescent green. So please maybe stick away from this one.
Okay.
Listen, if Joel doesn't play tomorrow, it puts the damper on the series, right? The series price has already gone to minus 500 in Boston's favor. I'm not going to sit here and say that we can win a series without Joel Embiid against Boston. Like I said, I'm ignorant.
Yeah.
I'm not ignorant to the fact that I am ignorant.
You're saying
but
you
that's
haven't
not
said that yet.
Right. But we can win a game without him in this series. It just has to be tomorrow. Like, that's the confidence that you need. You have to go out and win game 1 against Boston. I think if the Sixers come out tomorrow and they're absolutely flat, you have over a week off, the team doesn't have the energy in them, like, Joel Embiid not being out there should light a flame under everybody's ass. I think we can go into Boston and take one without Joel Embiid. I've been listening to Celtics podcasts. All I've heard from Celtics fans is they do great against adversity, right? Where their backs were kind of against the wall going back to Atlanta in game 6. And they are not great against prosperity or when things are going in their favor. AKA, they have the 3-1 series lead at home. DeJounte Murray's out. And this is not just me saying this. This is Boston fans. This has been a recurring cycle throughout the entire season. You get a close game against them. You've got Joe Mazzulla versus Doc Rivers in late game situations. It could be fun.
What does that mean? What
it
does
could be
that
fun.
mean?
It could be fun. It's who will puke on their chest harder.
Here's
nervous?
Abe's game plan for tomorrow. Fuck it, we ball. And you know
That's
what?
what I'm saying.
You know what?
That's what I'm saying.
No.
James Harden has played well against Boston this year. Very, very, very well. Tyrese Maxey, not so much.
So you're saying his player points prop of 24.5 might be a little high?
Maxey's is 24.5. I mean, he's going to be chucking, and he got confidence in him at the end of that Brooklyn series. So, listen, I'm not going to sit here and pick the Sixers in a series in which I don't know how many games Joel is going to play. What I am going to do is say that we can very well win game 1 in Boston tomorrow without Joel. We can very well win game 1 with Joel. And I think, call me crazy, but I saw you tweet this today, Jack. Win or lose tomorrow, 7-game series are long. They are long.
So long.
Just because you go into Boston tomorrow and you're a 10.5-point dog and you lose doesn't mean the series is over, right?
Let me give more context to that tweet though.
Sure.
7-game series are long, which
they're
favors
way longer
the better
when...
team. Which favors the better team. Now, if your belief is that Joel Embiid will be back game 2 and you're the better team, then they're long.
That is
if
my
you
belief.
believe that he okay. Then if others, let's say others listening or Philly fans believe that Boston's the better team and Joel Embiid won't be back till 3 or 4, then it could be a short series. What's the scheduling of this series? Game 2 would be Wednesday,
every
right?
other day. Every other day
No
until
break?
game 7. Until game
You're
7 every
kidding.
other day. Swear.
Do you know when game 3 of the Knicks series is? 1 was Sunday. 2 will be
Sunday.
on Tuesday. 2 will
Saturday.
be on Tuesday. Yeah. It jumps to Saturday.
Yeah,
So
we've
Jimmy
got every other.
and Julius's ankles will be well elevated. By
That was the
that.
discussion that I've put out there. It was like, did I want Boston to finish out in 5 so the series would start earlier and play yesterday? And Joel definitely wouldn't have played, but he would have had up until game 2, which would have been tomorrow, and then up until Thursday for game 3, which would have been another 3 days. Or do you want to give the big fella rest up until the series? But I've said enough. I think Joel is going to play tomorrow in my heart of hearts. I pray he does. I don't think this is a series, in my opinion, regardless. But going into game 1 tomorrow,
you don't. If Joel was out for the series, you would.
We don't have a chance to win.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We don't have a
Just
chance to win.
clear.
I don't think he's going to, and I don't think anyone does. But I do want to hear your thoughts on the series. Albeit, let's say Joel plays tomorrow. Joel doesn't play, but is back game 2. Joel doesn't play games 1 and 2. What do you think?
I don't know if he'll be back game 2. You're talking a lot about game 1. Could Philly win the game? Obviously, it's a game of basketball. It's a round ball that bounces 4 times on Sundays. And I think that but what it sounds like from you is that if they lose game 1, then they're in serious trouble. Like, you're not really talking game 2. Now, game 2 is not up, so that might be the reason. But if they go down 2-0 and Joel is not 100%, I already have Boston winning the series. I think the odds kind of indicate that. It's a long series, though. Maybe he'll be back. I just don't know if he'll be back. It's a knee. It's like a face is different. An ankle, a rolled ankle is different. A knee, ligament. But hey, he played through the meniscus, right? So I guess there's some hope. I would get it out of your head, and I would get it out of the Sixers players' heads ASAP. He's not playing tomorrow. There's no shot he plays tomorrow.
Remember when De'Aaron Fox a few games ago was listed as doubtful a day before the game?
He was. It was a finger though, and
I get it.
And it was what game was it? Game 5, I think. Game 5 or game 6. I think it was game 5. So this game, it was similar to how Heat fans are now talking about our series. Is, you know what? Pack it up, shoot 43s and see what happens. But let's not burn it here, because if he re-injures it, we're dead. If Joel plays and he looks good and we lose, well, then what do we do? Where do we go from there? So I don't think he'll play, but I hope he does. I think, for basketball, it'll be a better series.